Hey guys, welcome back to episode 15, part 2. Okay, this is the second part because we got cut short of the last one, so we're going to carry on. Back here with Steph. Right, Steph, where were we? We were just talking about what we were talking about, now we've forgotten.
Yeah. Me too. Oh, wait a minute. I did look. I had a little list. So that might prompt my memory again.
Being sensitive, oversensitive.
Oversensitive, yeah, that was it.
So,
oh dear.
yeah. You saying you were told you're oversensitive?
Yeah, I've always been oversensitive, too emotional. Those kind of things.
Yeah. That's me as well. I guess in the land of ADHD and neurodiversity, they call it rejection sensitive dysphoria.
Yeah.
Which is basically, I guess, an overreaction to what's happened to perceived rejection or criticism, or any rejection and criticism, basically. So it's
no, I still don't do criticism very well. Yeah. And if I'm working and somebody micromanages me and points out all the things I'm doing wrong, it kind of makes me go off working there.
Yeah.
Sort of looking back, I didn't realise that I kind of took it like that, but looking back, I do.
Yeah, it's like you, I've always been told that I've been too sensitive or oversensitive. I'm taking it personally and whatever, and I knew that all my life. It's been like that, and I think that's one of the reasons for me. The one reason I really tried my best not to get into trouble, be it at school, at home, and all that. I was a relatively good kid, but because I know what it's like to be told off, and I hated it. It just ruined me. It was just a really hard thing to take, and it shouldn't be. And I remember, I have it all through my life. I remember speaking to my wife last year, or a couple of years ago, I don't know. Thought, all right, okay, I'll try to explain it, because I was struggling at that time, and thought, right, okay, I want to tell her how I'm feeling and kind of like why. I couldn't tell her why because it was just bizarre. But I try to give her scenarios of what if she did something, or if somebody did something, my parents or at work, if someone just did something minor, like they would normally laugh at something I would say or do, and they didn't do it this one time, I would take it really to heart, so I can go to work and do something, and they might have a stressful day or something like that, and they'll be like, and now it's like, oh, okay, rather than bit of a bad mood, then never mind, it's okay, right, so I've annoyed her or him, and they obviously don't like me anymore, don't want to work with me anymore, I feel really quite uncomfortable now, or maybe it is time to leave. And it's like, what? It's stupid. When you don't have the answers, the real reason why, it's really hard to explain that and expect the person you're explaining to go, oh, really? Okay, I understand now. Rather than, what?
Yeah,
what?
I didn't realise it wasn't normal. You're sensitive to what you're sensitive to, but I overplay like social events, like, oh my god, why did I say that, why did I do that, oh, I'm an idiot, oh, that person must think this about me, that person must think that about me, and that's where I'm really bad.
Yes. So yeah, thinking about everything, thinking about it all. I did a podcast the other week about that, rumination, that's what it's called. When you overthink things, you go back on past, usually negative scenarios, and you just basically go over and over and over what happened, with no kind of lead to learning something new to do it better next time, to progress. It's just literally just going over and over and over and over something that's happened, and it's gone. And it's,
It's
I have to
all
say,
it
it's not,
is.
yeah, you know, and I do it now. Sometimes it's like from last week or 3 months ago, last year. Sometimes it's childhood, and it's just, it serves no purpose apart from ruining your day. That's it. And it's,
No,
it's
I kind of realised that I did it because there was a neighbour, and we've gone out for a cup of coffee a couple of times, and she didn't answer a message I sent like for about 3 weeks. And I'm like, what have I done? What did I say? I'm going through the whole process. Then I get one out of the blue going, oh, hi, I've been really busy, blah, blah, blah. Well, we're not really good friends. I don't really. And that made me think, oh my God, yeah, this is what I do.
yeah, it's
eye-opening, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, the text conversations, be it text or messenger or whatever it is, I think they're the worst. That highlights it a lot more, I think, because, you know, if they do it in capitals, you know, because they haven't realised what they're doing, is like, oh, shouting at me, what have I done wrong? Or you ask them a question or something like that, and they'll go, yes or no. It's like, oh, okay. They're obviously, that's a bit abrupt, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
not thinking at all that they're, you know, still struggling with having their twins in their arms at the same time, trying to feed them, and then trying to. It's like, no, don't take that into consideration. They just put no. So obviously, my day's ruined now.
Exactly. Don't you think, though, that having, for me, and I know that when I spoke to you before, having a partner support you, especially when you haven't attracted that kind of thing in your past, but having someone there that you can be yourself with, you don't have to, you know, be something you're not, allows you to kind of have a good look at yourself, and allows you to go, oh, okay. And my partner said to me, like, other people don't think the way you do, Steph, and that was the starting of this journey, I guess.
Okay, all right. It is, no, it's good to have someone there, partner, friends, family member, whatever it is, to have at least one person there to, you know, you feel comfortable enough to just be you, and they're, you know, comfortable enough to allow you to be you, and they can be themselves around you as well. And no, that is good. That is good, and it does, yeah. If you are your natural self, I guess, be it on purpose or just, you know, you just go into it, it does open your eyes, I guess, to what you miss and what you hide at other times.
And misunderstandings, it's kind of like, well, no wonder people misunderstand me, because I'm a walking contradiction. I misunderstand me.
Yes. I mean, I have no idea what you're going on about, so yeah.
Oh no, of course you don't.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
And I know when you get assessed, you don't get assessed on anything we've talked about so far.
You get, I don't know this.
Yeah, you get assessed on the main criteria of ADHD, which is the hyperactivity, the impulsiveness, and the inattentiveness.
Okay.
So they're like the three main things they look at, but they also look at it regarding your life and in different areas of your life and how long it's been on for. Because if you only had it for, like, you know, 10 years, and, you know, in your 40s or 50s, and that it's not going to be ADHD, because ADHD is from a child, from birth, basically. So yes, they look all that, and you'll do a questionnaire about yourself now and then from when you were a child, and then be it family members, friends, work colleagues, anyone who knows you and has known you for a long time. It doesn't matter who they are, but if they've known you from when you were a child, they can remember you from when you were a child or whatever, then great. You know, you give them questionnaires as well, and they have to answer stuff, and then that all goes back, and then you sit down and chat and go through it all, and take a couple of hours to speak about things. And if you don't know, I mean, I asked my mum about what I was like, you know, as a child, and, you know, I'm 52, right? So it's, you know,
Long time ago.
it's a long time ago. So you know, you don't get a lot of information at this age from when you were a child, except for the couple of things she remembers and a few things I remembered, and that was it. But it doesn't matter. You got that information, and things like that is all taken in consideration.
See, my biggest fear of what I said to James before I started this path was I know it's ADHD, and the funny thing is, my cousin married a lovely lady, and her son had ADHD, and he was quite young, and they were like, oh yeah, he doesn't get on with many people. Anyway, like, yeah, we were there, like he's in with me, showing his pictures of when I met him last, when his mum and my cousin got married, and we've always got on. We just hit it off. Anyway, he's 18, I think he is now, and they told him that I'm going through this diagnostic process, and he goes, well, yes, of course Stephanie's got ADHD. And but what I'm frightened of is I'm going to get palmed off with a horrible label, and I know it is, James knows it is, whatever, but I'm not going to get the label that I want to be able to access the medication that I know I need. And that is a big fear of mine, in all honesty.
Okay, so there's two things. Because they do
it over Zoom now. This is the assessment. I had to go through the Care 2 pathway because the other way was too long.
Okay.
So I'm waiting. So it's quite hard. The process has been quite hard already.
Yeah.
So then I'm waiting, and then you choose, but there wasn't any providers that kind of they were either for or for children. So there's only one provider I could go with. So you don't really get a choice. So they do it over Zoom, and they're over. I can't remember where they are. Somewhere nowhere near me. And
yeah. That's tough, knowing that you really don't have a choice of ways to go and how to do it, and with a face-to-face would definitely be better.
I'm quite awkward in this situation. I'm not as awkward with you as I normally am, but that's because we're just talking about just being real.
Yeah, and we've been chatting for a while anyway, so it is different. But it's so if you get palmed off to something else, the only thing I can say, I don't know you as such, and I haven't spent time with you or anything, and not that I can diagnose or anything like that. So if you are absolutely convinced that that's what you have, then keep fighting. Just like if you would fight for your child, if your child's going through the same thing and they're going no, and you think no, actually this something's going on here. It's not the average child, so to speak, average behavior. Then you fight, you speak up, and you go.
I've got a lot of fights. I've got a lot of fights going on at the moment. I'm still going through like a 15-year-old court case. I get really ill. I'm quite worn down. I don't know how much fights honestly, I don't know. And my partner's the same. We've kind of met, and you think your lives are going to get easier, but we just doubled our trouble. It's like
you've got to do these things for you, and think about what you want to do and why you want to do it. When I was going through it, I was convinced that at the time, then going through everything and looking at everything and going through it with my son, we have a neurotypical son, and looking at everything and doing all the research for that, I came to the conclusion, this explains my life. And when I thought to myself, look, when I wanted to get it done, because I'm struggling, I am struggling right now, and I need to be here and present now for our son. I'm a stay-at-home dad, and I need to be here. So I'm not going to go through the therapy route and stuff like that, because that's going to take too long. If I'm assessed, I'm going to get the medication because I need help now. And if they said you're not, because I was diagnosed, I was assessed for autism beforehand.
Oh wow!
Because a lot of the things they overlapped, and I thought, this could be it as well, because of being overweight, things like that.
How long ago? Sorry.
this year.
All this has happened this year?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got assessed for that, and it was no. And they explained a lot of things, why things happen and all that. And they were nice enough to, this company I went with, they're really nice. And they said, look, you know, we do the ADHD assessments, but they're all psychologists and they don't do the medication. So they can't prescribe the medication. And I said, yeah, well, I'll go for the medication if I am ADHD, because we talked and all that. And they said, there are a lot of crossovers here, and yeah, we think possibly. And then they gave me a test to do, one of the online tests, a QB test, which is a computerized test, which they sometimes use in the assessments for ADHD, which on paper sounds really easy. Why do they do it? It doesn't make sense. It's easy. These shapes, the triangle and a square, blue and red. And you basically got to look. You get strapped in, and the camera's on you, and they can see head movements and all this. It lasts for 20 minutes, and you got to press the space bar. It's like Snap, the game of cards, Snap.
Oh, okay.
Every time you get the same color and the same shape, one after the other, you press the space bar. Okay, so you'll get like a blue triangle flash up, like that, and then blue triangle, space bar, red triangle, red square, tap, blue circle, whatever it is, or triangle, whatever it is, I can't remember. But yeah, and it goes on for 20 minutes.
Headache?
Oh my word. Yeah, that was mental torture. Absolute mental torture to try and really concentrate, force yourself to concentrate. It was hard. It was a really long 20 minutes. And they said, yeah. So they gave me that test. They gave me the results for that. They said, wherever you go, take that with you to show them that as well. And I did, and that helps. And yeah, so yeah, I've got ADHD, and I'm like, yeah, give me the meds. And the meds, touch wood, have been brilliant. You know, so, but if they said no to the ADHD, I would have maybe I've gone somewhere else, a second opinion, or, you know, just thought about what else it could have been.
You had your son to fight for. I think
Yeah.
that makes a big difference. So that sort of, yeah, definitely. You kind of, you know, like you say, you're a stay-at-home dad, so
Yeah.
it's a massive motivator.
No, absolutely. If I was single,
yeah,
yeah. If I was single, you know, I would have done it. I just carried on.
I think the medication, reading what I've read, I mean, sort of a lot of people find, like you have, find benefits to it.
Yeah, you've got to think about what you want out of everything to understand what could possibly happen. So if you think the medication is going to help you with, you know, the rumination, the thinking about the negative stuff in the part, or it's going to help you with the RSD, it's probably not going to.
Really?
No, well, no, not directly, because it's going to help with your executive functioning, and most of that is going to be your memory, your working memory, your impulsivity, your hyperactiveness, and it will help you focus better. So they're the main things that the medication will work on.
But that would have a knock-on effect, wouldn't it? And particularly sleep, because I'm living on sleeping tablets at the moment, which isn't ideal. You know.
Yeah, but it can have a knock-on effect, absolutely. But I haven't read anything to say it will have the knock-on effects. You know, because I think there's a lot of things else going in your life. There's other things going as well. And when you have the medication, it's very quick to get into the system, quick to get out. So I have quick release, whatever you want to call it. So you can take medication that'll last all day, 8, 10 hours, 12 hours. Mine will last around 4 hours. But it releases everything. The all day ones, whatever you want to call it, they will release sort of like 20% of medication to begin with, and it's gradual throughout the day. Where the ones I'm on will basically release, it all, and it'll last for like 4 hours. But then it's like 4 hours, and then it's gone. And then another 4 hours. So I'll take it like 8:30, 12:30, 4:30.
So would you ever skip it?
I have, yeah. Sometimes
Have you
I
been fine? Have you been fine when you skip it?
It depends, because because I obviously work part-time, and so if I skip it for work, I can see the difference, because my working memory is shocking. So I work all day on a Saturday, and I was like, oh, I haven't got my meds with me. So I had to phone my wife, and they came up. I had the car seat in my car, so they couldn't. So they had to like walk the half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever it is, and they brought the meds. It's like, great, fantastic. Because my working memory is rubbish, and I need my working memory a lot when I'm out at work. But like in the afternoon right now, okay, it's fine. I'm at home. I don't need to be on top form, so I don't really need to have it right now. I will do, but it's not a big necessity. It's coming up to like 12:20 now. So it's running out. But it's okay. But I will definitely take it before I go to work, and I'll take it in the mornings.
So fundamentally, you're in the driving seat, aren't you, of that, which is quite a powerful place to be. If you struggle and you've been struggling to, who am I? Why am I? Internalize, why am I doing this? Oh, that neighbor did this. All those kind of things, and suddenly it sounds like you're in the driving seat again of your own life.
Yeah, it feels really, really good, and there's a lot of things it has sorted out, and I feel better because of it, because I don't feel depressed at all now.
Oh, that's brilliant.
At all. So now my antidepressants now, I spoke to the GP, and they're coming down, so you've got to wean yourself off the antidepressants. So I'm taking lower doses now. My anxiety is still there, but it's just not as much, which is brilliant. But the main things for me is I am calmer in my head.
That's a big thing.
I can cope. I don't get so overwhelmed by so many things, that are going on, and I can't change. So I need to be in control of that, and and my focus. So I've said before that I've never read a book. Ever.
Never.
Never read a book. Well, I've read like to my son, and so I can read, but I can't remember. So because I can't remember what I've read, no point. However, now I'm just starting chapter 3. Okay.
Oh, fantastic! Well, what is it? Everything.
A memoir of love, hate, and hope. It's Clive Myrie.
Wow.
The journalist.
So is it autobiography?
Yes, yeah, about his life and everything, and I still remember it now. I haven't looked at it for the last few days, but I still remember it now, and that to me is just heaven. I've actually got it today. Another book just been delivered. It's about a gentleman that I'm going to be speaking to soon. He's written a book about ADHD in his life, and I'm going to be reading that as well. And it's absolutely brilliant. And I don't care about anything else. I care about my relationship with our son and family, and and being able to cope with everything that's going on. And I want to read.
That's brilliant.
So, and that's doing it for me. Everything else is just, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I get to do the things that I actually wanted to do.
And your life makes sense now.
Yeah.
That's I think, particularly, for a lot of men that might be going through what you've been through, I think that's a really positive message.
I think it is. I mean, with medication, they say about sort of around 75-80% of people it works for. And generally the first protocol is the stimulant medication, because generally that's what works the best. And there's different types. I won't go into them all because I don't remember all of them. To be fair.
That's very good.
Yeah. But if the stimulants don't work, and then you can go to non-stimulants. But even with like the stimulants, you start off really low dosage. They always do really low dosage, and they don't. Well, for me, didn't work at all. And they up to 3 or 4 times before they got to the right dose. And it was great when you get it, because you'll know that it's working.
Less noise.
Say again?
Is there less noise? Because that less noise, let's like, you know, like.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what I want.
It is. It's less noise. It's not no noise.
Okay.
It's less noise. It's kind of like your head's gone from 100 miles an hour to, 30 miles an hour.
That's
So
amazing.
so it's still going, and it's easier to pick information out of your brain. The words and things like that. It's so much easier.
Are you still able to, like, because the PowerPoint of ADHD, it's like felt in the past like I'm driven by a machine and I just know how to do things, and it's like, and it's almost like having a spider web, and you just know, and you've got all these like 100 tabs open, and you're kind of, when I've been on campaigns, things like that, and it's felt like a superpower, which is when menopause hit, it stopped being a superpower. It just went all, like it just stopped basically. Yeah. Can you still hyper focus? Because that's positive stuff. I think for me, it has been anyway. It's not at the moment.
That hyper focus is a weird one for me, because I didn't know about that at all. It's one of the things I kind of came across after diagnosis.
You described it earlier.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's like, do I do that? I can't see myself doing that, because I haven't been able to focus on anything. And it wasn't until I blame it on the meds, I really do, that I decided to do the podcast. And because this is not me. Off meds, this is not me. One, talking to someone really, I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Let alone being on,
camera.
Yeah. And then putting it online and then talking about stuff that I'm still learning myself.
Yeah.
And then talking about this is way out of my comfort zone normally. So, but since being on the meds, I'm like, yeah, I want to talk. Let's do this podcast, talk to people. I'm like,
so your hyper focus has gone to that.
Yeah. And I realized then that I've put down my photography and I've just cracked on with this, and I'm doing everything I've been doing for the last month or so is about the podcast. Just researching things, doing things, trying to find better graphic equalizer to make it sound better, and everything's to do with this. Buying a mic with a fluffy bit on the end.
I've always wanted one of those.
It's all been about this. I'm like, oh God, yeah. This is hyperfocus.
Yeah.
This is really weird, because I didn't know I did it.
The gym, it wasn't that where you described it. It was in the first podcast when you were describing you getting into gym and knowing the biology, and how you described it. It was like how I the spider webs and being able to just do it like you're driven by a motor almost.
It was, yeah, because I lived fitness. I lived it all: the eating, the working out, the knowledge, everything. So yeah, that was a long time. That was probably my longest hyper focus, because everything was about fitness. And that hyper focus has stopped now. So yeah, I don't think about fitness.
Years is a long time, and you would have become an expert at what you put your mind to, wouldn't you? And kind of probably helped lots of people, but that ran out. Yeah,
that ran its course, and I wouldn't go back to that again, to be fair. But it's we're learning and putting the pieces together. It's a crazy journey.
It is, and thank you so much because you really helped me out, sort of going back about 3-4 weeks ago when we spoke. I was having a really hard time, and I was quite ill at the time, and just having a conversation with you made me sort of go, hang on a minute, and that's kind of been a turning point. So thank you.
My pleasure. It's nice to hear. It's nice to hear that someone's getting something out of this, and it's nice to know that I've been of some help.
I'm sure you will be to other people. I mean, because you're using your experience, and some of it bad experience, but you're using it in a positive way.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying, and this is all part of the journey as well, because I want to talk about it. If no one came on my podcast and no one listened, I will still do it, because I found talking about it very therapeutic. And I laugh about my one only listener, but that's okay.
You will like brick yourself if suddenly it goes up and you've got thousands of people listening to your podcast. You'll be like, oh my God, what's going on? Oh no.
But it's therapeutic, and this is part of my journey, and talking to you is very therapeutic for me as well. So thank you, because this is helping me as well, so.
It's only by talking, because like I think a lot of us have isolated ourselves away with our struggles because we thought we were weird.
Yeah, we're weird. We do things differently, and now when we try to talk about it, or try and show ourselves, and it's no, it's a phase now. It's trendy thing. I'm like, yeah, it's trendy if you've had this for 10 years or something. Well,
exactly.
It's trendy if you think you've got it because you keep losing your keys, or you've got a bad memory.
Yeah.
But
you wouldn't wish this on your worst enemy. It's been
the
isolating, lonely thing ever.
Yeah.
And this took me to 50 to figure out what the hell's going on and why it has, and just go, actually, I'm okay, but sod it. I'm just, I could be me.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah. But for older people, if you can look back on your life and think, with all the symptoms that you get that come under the ADHD sort of umbrella, if you've had them all your life and they've made your life rubbish, then you might be on something, but hey, it's one of those things. It is only recognized in this country, a recognized diagnosis for children from 2000.
Really?
Yeah, and it's only been recognized in this country for adults since 2008.
Wow. Okay.
So, so when we were children, we wouldn't have got diagnosed, an official diagnosis. And, got 15 years ago, 20 years ago, say, I wouldn't have got diagnosed, because only children have it.
And it's so, only by speaking out that we learn, and not hiding the history, and not kind of going, oh, that never happened, yeah.
Yeah, speaking is the best way. Be informed, and I think I said on one of the posts I did that it's good to talk. Don't hype it up. Don't play it down. Say it how it is. Don't try and make it the trendy thing. Don't try play it down to make it sound like it's nothing, because it's not nothing. Say it how it is, be real about it, and then that's when the real stories and the real truth will get across to people.
Definitely, but it's in humanity's kind of genetic makeup to kind of go, oh, I'm getting 2,000 hits. Oh, let's really, unfortunately, with everything. Wishes.
Yeah, I've never been that. I mean, it's great. I mean, like I said, I do the photography, and I've got a few hundred, but I haven't got thousands. And
you should have. You should have. No, I couldn't believe, I had no idea. I'd seen your quotes, I'd seen your pictures. I had no idea until we talked one day and you said it, that was actually your work. So.
Oh, bless you. But all I want is whoever, say, follows me, whoever listens to this, I want it to just be interesting to what I'm doing and saying. You know what I mean? Not just, I don't want likes for the sake of likes. I want people to like it because they are going to listen and follow and understand and enjoy it or whatever.
I think your podcast would be particularly good for people that are kind of sort of thinking, oh, could I have ADHD? So particularly men that are kind of, sort of going through maybe depression and anxiety and have kind of alienated themselves to that slowly self-discovering. your journey can be the start of somebody else's, potentially.
Yeah. Well,
Hopefully.
we'll see.
Yeah.
It'll be nice. It'll be nice. I say it's just nice to help people at the end of the day. If I can, that'd be great. Right. Time is running out again. I think we might need to call it quits here and not do a part 3, because I think if we do a part 3, we're going to have to do a part 4 or 5 as well. So
It'd be a hyper focus podcast till we're flagging
Right. Okay, guys. Steph, thank you so much for coming on. And I know we'll chat again anyway. But thank you for sort of sharing your story and being here with us, today. For all you guys listening, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you will tune in for next time as well. But for me and Steph, have a good day. Be good, be kind, and remember, you're not alone.